Alright, it's been a while since I've done a video like this. We'll see how it goes. Shout out my guy Trigger on X. I think, dude, I don't know if I met him first on X or if I met him in S-Dog's chat and then we added each other on X, but like I've crossed paths with him on several topics, and hell of a dude, smart guy. Alright, so just being the nerd I am, I got to I think about dimensions and stuff, and I kind of stumbled into this last night randomly, but I've got this concept I've been working on for years, and it's like all things consist of one, and everything is one at the same time. That sounds really cliche, but in a literal sense, if we're talking about matter, that is very important. Is we are talking about matter right now, in the existence of matter, like physical matter, like, okay. In the idea of math does not account for matter, in the sense of what I'm about to describe. If you have an XY graph and you draw a line that's going infinity, it's a continuous line. Due to our numerical system of math, that line can continue towards the x-axis forever. I feel like I've talked about this with Trigger. I've talked about this with a lot of people. I don't know. But we know with matter that's not true. If I'm sitting here at a parking lot right now, let me turn this camera around. I'm sitting here. If you were to start at that line right there and draw a line to like right there, and they occupy matter, like your line is matter, like you get a jump rope, you're gonna hit that other line. It's impossible because it's matter. You can play with this a little bit when you get a different types of matter. For example, water. Water runs through stuff or it gets absorbed, and this is where we get into debate of whether energy is matter, which is something I started about 2 years ago. And lo and behold, at the start of my life, I was taught there were 3 forms of matter. You got solid, liquid, and gas. Now you got a 4th that they started teaching kids since I graduated high school, called plasma. I am telling you, energy is a form of fucking matter. Here's how we solve the 4th dimension. Now, I'm making a bold statement by saying I solved this. Everything is just a theory. All right, so talking in the existence of matter, you have like a point. Similar to the graph, we're going to say a point is the smallest thing of matter. When I was being taught through the public education system, I was taught an atom is the smallest point of matter. That's not the case anymore, because tech and just intellect and everything advances over time. So now there's like a quark. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something smaller than a quark that I don't know about. But, so, to cover all of it, it's a point. It's 1. The smallest form of matter is 1. If you have another point over here, you can make a line. But it has to end with the points. Like the matter has to come to an end. That's what the points are. It's the beginning and the end. Then you make a line. Where a lot of people fuck this up, and why it was so tricky for me to grasp for a long time, is they want to take 2 lines and make them parallel, and then get 2 perpendicular and make a square. So they're going to say that you need 4 points to make a shape, but you don't. So we've made 1 point is a point, 2 points makes a line, 3 points makes a triangle. We have a shape at 3 points. 4 points makes a dimension. So it's hard for me to show this, but like you'd have a just Google or use AI, because I'm going to forget the terms. But basically think of a 3-dimensional fucking triangle, like a pyramid, an Egyptian pyramid. There you go. Okay. That's all. No, I'm fucking it all up. When you have the 3 points, you have the triangle. You can make the pyramid is what gets confusing, because if you try to make a pyramid, you got a point, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, because you got a square on the bottom. So the 4th point that I'm doing that is different than representing a pyramid, it's called a pentagon. Anyways, you can message me or ask me about it. I'll try to put it in the text. I just finished my run, so I'm winging this as I go. But if you go on Google and you Wikipedia like 5-cell, it's this Pentachoron. and I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm probably saying it wrong right now. Your mind isn't going to be able to perceive what this is, but you can go to this Wikipedia page and it's going to make an image that's like rotating, because there is an element that which our eyes can't perceive past the three dimension. Okay. Now I won't call it a debate, but I'm talking with this guy on Facebook, and he's talking about time being the fourth dimension. That was my original thought. But when you look at this pentagon, you look at how it's moving, you got to understand time doesn't really change shit. It just constantly exists. So if we're saying that time is the fourth dimension, we're saying time is pulling, that we're saying time is stretching these glasses out. No, that is not what's happening. These glasses are a fucking solid shape with a beginning and an end. But here is what a fourth dimension can be, and what we can't perceive, but we know exists around matter, because it is just another form of matter, and that is energy. So we're going to pretend this is a solid piece of steel. And if I get this piece of steel super, super hot, and I put it in a vacuum, because we have to account for the fact that matter reacts with other matter. So heat fluctuating around in air is going to do something different than heat fluctuating around with no air. So that's why I'm putting it in a vacuum. I get this super hot or cold. I can do it either way. But if we're pretending this is steel, this is super hot, this is super cold. I do not have to touch this to know that it is hot or cold. I can put my hand right here and I will feel the heat radiating off of this. That is what we can't see in the fourth dimension. That is what is kind of causing it to consume itself, because the energy is coming in and going back around. It's just movement of matter. Freaking genius, gosh darn it. Yeah!